Hello everybody, Drew Brenner here, your mortgage advisor, and I'm here today to advise you about all of the new changes you've been hearing about from the CFPB, or the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And well, as you can all see, I'm wearing black today because I'm afraid it is the funeral for our industry. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, despite all the supposed changes you've heard, very little is actually changing, even on the mortgage side, but definitely on the real estate side. You're not going to see too much in the way of changes. Now, the CFPB rules apply to any loan that is secured by a residence, whether it's a primary, a second home, or an investment property. All of these fall under these guidelines. The first thing that's kind of changing are the fees. The fees have been capped at, if your loan amount is between $60,000 and $100,000, you're capped at $3,000 in total fees. And above $100,000, it is 3% of the loan amount. Now, by fees, I'm talking about actual fees charged. That does not include escrows. There are some other things that it doesn't include, like the upfront mortgage insurance premium charged by an FHA loan, but it does include the conventional loans when someone is wanting to pay for an upfront mortgage insurance policy rather than have that monthly payment. So that is included in that $3,000. But again, that's something that really the loan officer has to be responsible for, really more than the real estate agent, but it's something that you should be aware of. The next big change are the appraisal delivery guidelines. Appraisals now have to be delivered at least 3 business days before closing. Now, the actual appraisal delivery date is going to kind of vary lender to lender because typically it's based on the appraisal actually being approved by the lender. Now, if there is, some repairs on the appraisal that the value is contingent upon, again, it's going to vary lender to lender. But, a lender may have to wait until they get that final inspection back showing all repairs have been completed before the appraisal gets officially approved and thus sent to the borrower at least, again, 3 business days before closing. So the one way you can get around this, which is pretty nice and easy, is get the borrower to sign a waiver saying they waive their right to receive the appraisal 3 days before closing. They'll, of course, still receive a copy at closing. They just won't be able to get a copy at least 3 business days before. So not really a big deal there. The next kind of change, and it's really not even a real change, is the debt-to-income guidelines. They are now limiting you to 43% for your back-end debt-to-income ratio. But the thing is if you're going with a Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, and you're going through our regular computerized underwriting system or desktop underwriter, and you get an approval above that, well, you're okay. And that's kind of a temporary hold for the next 7 years. So who knows if that'll even still be in effect 7 years from now, especially as much as things have changed recently. So the only thing that really limits you to is if you have to get a manually underwritten loan because of certain difficulties with the loan that don't fall under the the regular, easily approvable computerized underwriting guidelines. It also will limit you on a jumbo loan, though a lot of jumbo companies were already limited to 43% anyway. So there's very little change there. Now, one big change that may affect some of you that do a lot of investor sales is the interest-only loans have pretty much gone away completely. So if you have an investor that has a local bank that is going to get some type of short-term and interest-only loan, those have most likely gone away and they probably will not be able to get them. So as you can see, very little is changing, especially from your perspective. But please feel free to contact me. We can go over the changes, make sure that you understand them all. My number is 214-282-6387. Again, 214-282-6387. So I'm Drew Brenner, your mortgage advisor, and I look forward to seeing you around the web. Take care.